The reason why we're picking on Verizon EM is because if it does come to pass that Apple is forcing their hand once again and removing a critical technology feature away from their phone models, that basically means that it was the millimeter wave era was a stopgap for C-band in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly.
And we've all said that. We've all said that.
No. It was a stopgap, as in they needed it for a short period of time. That's it.
Moose, I can't tell you how much I disagree with that statement.
No, I'm not stating it.
It's false. It's not true.
I'm not stating it.
No, I know you're not stating it, but like that's a narrative that's going around, is that it was to stop. It was to temporarily deal with congestion because they didn't have another solution.
Right. That's what we're saying, right?
But that doesn't even make sense. Millimeter wave doesn't travel far enough to handle that sort of congestion.
That's the narrative that's spun out there.
But it's a false one.
100%, I agree with you, because if that's the case, then why haven't they decommissioned 40,000 nodes across the country?
Because they're going to retrofit it with C-band. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Which
correct.
You don't have to do that.
You don't have to replace them. You can add C-band to those sites.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. You add
but that's not what
you add the C-band to the small cells. That's the whole.
Yeah,
purpose.
But that's not what they're saying. They're
that's
saying
not
that
what that's not what
replace them with C-band, meaning take out the millimeter wave and put a C-band radio.
No, that does not happen.
What I think is going to happen is you're going to see, if in case this is true, right? Remember, this is all speculation at this point. But if you see a new C-RAN in a very high congested area, two things may happen. One path could be it's millimeter wave and eventually C-band will be added, or it will be C-band exclusively because of the cost.
Right.
It's cheaper.
That's right. See, all the new small cells that are going up, especially for the C-RAN, or the C-RAN sites, especially for AT&T's doing. It's just C-band, in your basic LTE.
But they never heavily invested in millimeter wave, so it makes sense for them to be deploying what you just said. Like that makes a lot of sense. Zero cool, and I agree. Right. But to the point about Verizon, why would they go back when they got the amount of cells that they already do? Why would they go back and take down all of these millimeter wave radios and replace them with C-band?
They're not going to take down any. They're not going to take down any millimeter radios. They're just going to add C-band to the ones that don't have C-band on them already. And not in all my years of RF, there's never going to take away your radios. Don't worry.
I mean, don't tell me not to worry. It's not me who's worrying. It's not me who said it. It's Moose who said it. It's not me.
They add the C-band. So basically, it's called a carrier add. Okay, they add the C-band to the radios, to these small cells, to these towers. Right. I don't know. Like Apple, I think we can all agree on the panel here that Apple just does some messed up crap. So. Like this, remember how they took away, the electric, your charger, now they're doing this. They'll probably think of something else next to where.
At the end of the day, though, all the carriers are losers in this. OEMs removing this technology from their devices or choosing to, it hurts all three of them. Dish is irrelevant. Nobody cares about Dish, but T-Mobile and AT&T and Verizon, they all lose in this situation because they have one less tool in their toolbox to offload capacity in the areas that need that capacity offloaded. So I think that's the big takeaway that I'm getting from this. You guys can disagree and continue to shit on Verizon or whatever you want to do, but all three carriers lose in this.
My takeaway was that this has nothing to do with the telcos, and it's just Apple wanting to simplify the supply chain, not necessarily consciously thinking about.
Man, Apple just trying to save money. More power to them. But this has nothing to do with millimeter wave being whatever Moose said. It's wrong.
There's also another narrative that we also need to consider is if Apple says to the OEMs, to the carriers, Okay, you guys can have a millimeter wave iPhone, but it's going to cost you an extra $200 versus I can give you the same iPhone without millimeter wave and it's not going to cost you any more monies. How much you want to bet that even Verizon is not going to subsidize the differential to compete with the other carriers that are going to choose the non-millimeter wave option?
I just don't think that's going to happen, though. Honestly,
I don't know.
There are too many customers that
we would be
use.
regressing from flagships supporting all bands and frequencies to the S10 5G, where it had a low band variant and a millimeter wave variant. We're gonna play that game again.
I mean, you did brought up something else, Chacha, earlier today, which I was shocked because I didn't realize it. Band 46 has been removed also from the new iPads, which AT&T uses for Band 46 heavily.
Moose, I'll be honest with you. AT&T has made huge missteps in their wireless network. They put nothing into CBRS, and they put effort and hardware commitment to Band 46. Shit makes absolutely zero sense.
Right.
Okay,
Completely agree.
So I already have a problem with that. Then is it Sambar? Who's the
Sambar.
CTO? Okay. He comes out and says publicly, I wish, and this is a quote, I wish I could take out all of the CBRS radios that we have up in there. They have 0 CBRS radios in their network. 0. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. They have band 46 on air, not band 48. In my opinion, AT&T is lost in the sauce when it comes to the wireless network. They are trying to find ways to build the network cheaper instead of building the network better. And the last carrier that built the network cheaper is no longer in business. And the new one is going to be going out of business. And here we are having conversations about wireless assets that could improve the network, but we're going to sit there and litigate, procrastinate, and constipate on frequencies. We're going backwards, Moose.
Bro, the only reason why AT&T and T-Mobile are regressing from millimeter wave compared to Verizon is because Verizon was smart and they secured shit with the cities owning the light pole infrastructure, saying, hey, you know what, we'll handle them, we'll upgrade them for you, but let us put our stuff up.
Well,
and
how
they've
about
done
this,
it
Los?
not just here in Vegas, they're doing it in LA, in Phoenix, they already have it. They already
How
have
about
it in
this,
Salt
Los?
Lake.
Who invested in millimeter wave hardware companies?
You already know. Come on, man.
Who was the first carrier to put millimeter wave in their hardware for their gateways?
Verizon.
Who is the first company to put millimeter wave in the iPhone?
Verizon, because they debuted it together.
So you mean to tell me Apple's going to just all of a sudden decide to not put millimeter wave in the next gen iPhone? None of this makes any sense for the iPhone. I'm sorry, bro. I can't get with it. The more and more I dig into it, the more it doesn't hold.